NASCAR makes its return to Homestead Miami Speedway for the first time since early of last year, and this race was pretty good. It was kind of stale at the beginning with some of the passing that we did not see and just the big lead Kyle Larson had, but towards the end of this race it got really exciting. The playoff pressure, along with just non-playoff drivers also having pressure and mistakes on pit road. We saw a lot of things here from Homestead, so let's go ahead and wrap it up in a review. Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 48 back again. Welcome to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Dixie Vodka 400 from the famed Homestead Miami Speedway, the track that should be hosting the championship, but instead we have to give it away to Phoenix, which is a mediocre track. Anyway, we are here to review our top 10 finishers, rate the race, then we're going to talk about a bigger story of the race, which kind of happened towards the end, so it won't really be that long. Then we'll look at our drivers of the day, and end it off looking at the playoff standings coming out of Homestead and going into the final race to get into the Championship 4 at Martinsville next weekend. So let's go ahead and dive on into this review. Finishing first was Kyle Larson. What a day it was for Kyle Larson and the number 5 team, leading 199 laps here today. A dominating performance. Gets his 19th career win, third of 2022. Swept both stages today. So I think this is the second time this season Kyle Larson has swept both stages. He did it at Watkins Glen in mid-August. And what a just crazy 2 weeks for Larson. First, he had that whole incident with Bubba Wallace a week ago and a crash that could have taken him out of the driver's seat. And now he comes back the next week to get the win at Homestead. Really cool for him. And also first win at Homestead for Hendrick Motorsports since Jimmy Johnson's 2016 title. So really cool fun fact right there. And also first top 5 for Larson since the Bristol night race. Really good effort for Kyle Larson, number 5 team. He just took the lead from Byron earlier in the race, and I think that was just the end of that. He went on to go ahead and win the first stage and then just won the second stage, and then later throughout the race he was now having to go through traffic once Denny Hamlin got to the lead, and he was on the move and he was hunting down Mark Truex Jr. until we had that Tyler Reddick caution, and then Kyle Larson kind of got into the back of Mark Truex Jr., but we'll talk about that incident later, and that ended up giving Larson the lead coming off of pit road and just smooth set sail. Was being challenged by Chastain and Allmendinger, but was able to hang on to get his 19th win. Finishing runner-up was Ross Chastain. Back-to-back weekends for Ross Chastain, finishing second once again. I actually started 20th in this race, which had me kind of worried about how he would be going in for the rest of this round, but he had a phenomenal race in my opinion, and now that's 3 top 5s in the last 5 races for Ross Chastain, so a nice strong run for him. But really, Ross Chastain's day was pretty strong. Just came up back from 20th and it was just on the move. He was definitely one of the biggest competitors throughout the field. He started to show up, especially late in this race when Truex got up out in front and Chastain got by Hamlin, and him and Hamlin, they were going at it all day long, and Chastain won most of them battles, but Chastain was up to P2. I thought he was going to be able to pass Truex, but Larson just could not beat him. Chastain even knew that, and even with the late race caution and the late race restart, Chastain still was not able to beat Kyle Larson. Had to challenge AJ Allmendinger, and I was thinking hopefully Allmendinger doesn't wreck Chastain, because if you go back to Coda of earlier this year, I thought Allmendinger would do something, but they're former teammates. I'm pretty sure they've already talked about it, but Chastain still had a really good day in the number 1 team, just oh so close to getting that win, trying to get into the Championship 4. Well, he's, I'm pretty sure, 19 points above the cut line in second, so hopefully he could just point his way in going into Martinsville. Finishing in third was AJ Allmendinger. What a race it was for AJ Allmendinger. Last 6 races, he has now finished inside the top 10 in his Cup Series attempts and qualified 10th in this race. I'm pretty sure that's his best start on an oval this season so far. Really good effort by Allmendinger, able to get a 3rd place finish, battling Chastain there in the end. Chastain kind of got in the wall a couple times, but Allmendinger still was not able to catch him and only finished P3. Still a great performance. I just cannot wait to see Kaulig Racing and just him and Justin Haley perform the next season in the Cup Series. I feel like this team is definitely up on the rise, because Haley has been having his good moments, especially like the last 2 months of the season, and then Allmendinger has just been improving. So watch out for him coming up next season, but a nice solid day for him in the 16 team. Finishing fourth was Austin Dillon. Nothing really to say about Austin Dillon. 3 straight top 10 finishes in a row for the number 3 team, so that's actually pretty consistent. First top 5 since his win at Daytona, but a really good finish for them. Definitely one of the quiet drivers of the day to sneak up inside the top 10, heck, in the top 5, and he started 32nd today, so nice finish for him and the 3 team, because at first it was not looking good with him and Reddick having issues, but able to get a top 5 finish. Rounding out the top 5 was Brad Keselowski. This is the second week in a row Brad Keselowski's kind of gotten roughened up by a playoff driver. I'm pretty sure last week it was him getting kind of roughened up by Blaney. Or no, it was Talladega, where he kind of got roughened up by Blaney, where Blaney sent him up the track, and then this time Larson kind of chopped down on his nose, so I don't know if he was happy about that, but still, Brad K able to get a top 5 finish, so really good finish for him and the number 6 team. I'm pretty sure this is Brad Keselowski's first top 5 since, hold on, I know the race, his first top 5 since, was it Daytona, or is this his best finish yet? Hold on, I'm looking through. Actually, yeah, this is Brad Keselowski's best finish this season. He has not finished inside the top 5 this season. Yeah, this is his best finish of the season. Wow. That is a major shock. So congrats to Brad K on his best finish of 2022. Definitely well-deserved. First top 5 of the season for the number 6 team. Wow, I cannot believe that. But still, nice effort for him and the 6 crew. Finishing in P6 was Martrix Jr. What could have been, what could have been. 3 times, notable times this season that Martrix Jr. just could not get the win. We go back to Nashville. I mentioned this so many times before. Deciding to pit when you only have 5 laps to go at Nashville, where it's hard to pass. Definitely not a good move on him and his crew. New Hampshire, that one was kind of out of their hands. And then this one, I'll admit, I think it was just kind of an incident right there, because like Truex just turned into his pit stall late, you know, because you have the sunshine coming at the driver. Steve Letarte mentioned that, and even Truex mentioned that in his post-race interview, that you have it coming all the way down, and you could barely see. That's just Florida weather, or not Florida weather. That's just at Homestead. That's how it is, and he just could not see. So that does really suck for Martrix Jr. and the 19 team. They definitely had a car that could have won, because imagine if him and Kyle Larson were duking it out in the last 15 laps. That definitely would have been a hell of a show. But Truex still had a pretty good day. Him and Byron went at it for second in the first stage, so that was actually pretty cool to watch. But then later in the day, Truex was running pretty well. Him and Hamlin were going at it, and then he was being hunted down by Kyle Larson. He had the lead until that caution came out and got hit trying to get into his stall. Heartbreak for Truex. Just pit road has been mad crazy all day. He had to restart 19th and ended up getting a 6th place finish. So does suck for Martrix Jr. over there, but he has 2 races left. We'll see how he'll do in Martinsville, which Toyota did not do good at Martinsville earlier this year. In Phoenix, Truex has won there, but has he? Yeah, he has. Yeah, so Truex should do fine, I think, hopefully. But still, a bit of a heartbreak there for Martrix Jr., but 2 top 10 finishes in a row, still trying to get that first win of the season. Finishing 7th was Denny Hamlin. What a roller coaster day it was for Denny Hamlin in the 11 team, because he had pit road issues at the beginning of the race after the first caution, because I think something was wrong with the pit gun and it kind of messed up the whole pit stop. So man, the pit road struggles just continue for Denny Hamlin and the 11 team. Anyway, throughout the rest of the race, I'm pretty sure still at the beginning of stage 2, Hamlin was still struggling, just trying to catch back up and stuff. And he had a near miss on pit road between him, Balicki, and Kyle Larson. Luckily, no one was hurt, but that was really close. I'm surprised no one called that out and possibly given him a penalty for that, because he was just driving through so many pit stops. So I don't know what the hell Hamlin was doing there, but that was in stage 2. Later throughout the race, he was able to get to the lead after a caution came out for Blaney spinning on the access road, and then him and Truex were going at it, but Truex is definitely better than Hamlin. Hamlin fell back, and then fell back, but he was still running up in the top 10, so he was able to get a nice solid 7th place finish. You know, gotta give credit to Hamlin in the playoffs. He's been the most consistent driver. He's only finished outside the top 10 once this whole playoffs, and that was at the Roval, where he still finished 13th. So really good momentum for Hamlin. We'll see how he'll look going into Martinsville, because I'm pretty sure he's just only a little bit above the cut line. So anything can happen, but we'll have to wait and see. But a nice solid finish for him in the 11 team. Finishing in 8th was Kevin Harvick. Nothing really to say about Kevin Harvick. Also, just like Austin Dillon, had a pretty quiet day. Ended up getting an 8th place finish. Back-to-back top 10 finishes for him. Still trying to get another win, I guess, for him and his number 14, because it sounds like that he could be retiring at the end of 2023, but Gene Haas wants him to stay. So we'll have to wait and see about all that. But nice solid finish for Harvick in the 4. Finishing in 9th was Kyle Busch. Finally, Kyle Busch has a quiet day, because I have not heard anything about Kyle Busch this whole race and hell, this whole weekend. But still, good finish for Kyle Busch in the number 18 team. 3 straight top 10 finishes in a row. Just a good solid effort for him and his team here at Homestead. Last time, man, Homestead, good memories for the 18. Won 2 championships here, and now, man, it's all settled and done. I still can't believe he's going to RCR, but we'll have to wait and see. 2 races left with JGR. Man, it's getting that close, my man. It's getting close. And then rounding out the top 10 and 10th was Daniel Suarez. Nothing really to say as well about Daniel Suarez. Was still just able to get a nice top 10 finish after starting P23 here today. So really good for him and the number 99. And also just really good day for Trackhouse overall. So now let's rate this race. I'll admit the first stage, maybe even sort of the second stage, was kind of boring because Larson stretched out his lead, just dominating. No one was really passing, and thought the next gen was about to expose Homestead. Literally one of the best mile-and-a-half racetracks we have left on the schedule. But turns out the final stage was actually pretty entertaining. We saw better restarts, really good racing between a lot of the drivers, especially with Hamlin and Chastain. They were battling really good. Chastain and Allmendinger were also going at it. Truex and Hamlin were going at it. Really good racing, especially towards the end of this thing. Kyle Larson thought he was going to get away after that one restart because he was out in front, but then Chastain and Allmendinger, they were not letting him out of his sight, so that was actually pretty good. Pretty cool to see. But anyway, just to end it up, this was still a really good race in my opinion. So if I had to rate it, I'm going to give it a solid, I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10. It was a solid race. Felt like it could have been a little bit better. Just the passing, we didn't really see that much of it as I expected. But the racing, especially towards the end, was really good. So actually, I'm going to bump that up to an 8.4. It was still really solid race here from Homestead. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comment section below. So now let's talk about our biggest story of the race, the Kyle Larson Truex incident. Basically, pit road was madness today. Tyler Reddick had his issues. Hamlin had that big issue when flying through the pit stalls, almost hitting Larson, and Bilicki kind of like spun halfway a little bit. Did like a full 180. And then this time, it was like on the last pit stop where Truex is in front, Larson's in the back. Truex trying to get into his pit stall, but like I said earlier, the sun in his eyes kind of turned in a little bit late because we saw a comparison with Chastain, went into his pit stop, no problem. Truex just was not early enough, and then Larson just kind of got into the back of him as Truex was trying to get into his pit stall. So big issue right there. I can't really say it's Larson's fault. You would put most of that blame on Truex, but you could put sort of the blame on Kyle Larson. But this is the second time Kyle Larson has had to go against a Toyota. First, Bubba Wallace last week, and now Truex. And I wouldn't be surprised after Larson winning, Bubba on his TV is going like, ooh, damn that Kyle Larson. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out, that whose side I'm on. It's not really a big deal. Truex wasn't really pissed off in his interview, but he was saying that it was kind of like both on him and on Kyle Larson, so I can kind of agree and come to terms with that. But James Small and like his crew, they were all upset. So Joe Gibbs was furious. Well, wasn't really furious, but he had a stern grin, not grin, stern face, showing like, I don't like this and stuff. But it does suck for Truex. Hopefully he can still get a win within these last 2 races of the season, because this would be the first winless season for Mark Truex Jr. since 2014 if he does not get a win in these last 2 races. But that's all I wanted to talk about right there, that incident. Just a little minor incident. Hopefully this doesn't cause drama in the future, but I think they've already settled it. Bygones be bygones. For Unlucky Driver of the Day, I'm going to give it to John Hunter Nemechek. Really sucks for him and the number 45 team after that hell of a qualifying session they had starting in P4, but unfortunately early enough in the race, I'm pretty sure within the first 10 laps, he kind of got loose, got into the outside wall and spun out into the inside and hit the inside wall. I'm pretty sure he went a few laps down and only made up to as far as 27th, so not a really good finish for them after high hopes, after having a really good session. I thought they could have done so much better, and he got eliminated from Truck Series playoffs, so that just adds insult to injury. For underdog driver of the day, I'm going to give it to Brad Keselowski. I know he's not a true underdog, but with this team, I'm going to have to say he is first top 5 for RFK. Really impressive run for Brad Keselowski, so I think he deserves underdog driver of the day. For comeback driver of the day, I'm going to have to give it to good old Denny Hamlin right here, because he had his issues today. First off, with the pit road issues early, fighting a tight race car, had that big issue on pit road with Larson and Josh Bilicki. Hamlin still was able to finish inside the top 10 after having a car that didn't even look like that could even finish in the top 10 with all the issues they were having. So really cool for Hamlin to come back from that and finish in the top 10. And then your overall driver of the day, you got to give it to Kyle Larson. Led 199 laps. Really awesome performance, meaning he did not lead, I'm pretty sure, 67, 68 laps. So really impressive run for Kyle Larson. We don't really see that much dominance in this next-gen car. So really cool to see that Kyle Larson's starting to dominate in some of these races. So watch out for him next year. Definitely going to be one of the first or top dominating drivers in this next-gen car for years to come. Now, time to look at the playoff standings coming out of Homestead and going into the final race of the round of 8 in Martinsville next week. First off, Joe Logano already championship 4 lock. Next up, we have Ross Chastain plus 19. You have Chase Elliott plus 11. William Byron plus 5. Then below the cut line, you have Hamlin minus 5. Blaney minus 18. Bell minus 33. And then Chase Briscoe minus 44. Bell and Briscoe both have issues today. Bell just did not have the car. Briscoe had his issues today, kind of got up into the wall, had some tire issue, damaged something with the car, probably the toe link or suspension, was out of the race. Blaney spun out on the access road. We already talked about Hamlin. And then Chase Elliott, once again, just a no-show. Was just a complete no-show. And then Byron was running pretty well up until, I'm pretty sure, he had some issues or a caution kind of caught him at a bad time and stuff. But still, they are still above the cut line. But for Chase Elliott, with his last 3 finishes, they got to do something, because they could easily get eliminated. Because in my opinion right here, Bell and Briscoe, they have to win. Blaney and Chastain, like, it's still not over for Blaney to point his way in, and it's still not too early to celebrate for Chastain, because they gotta keep it consistent, because it's Martinsville. It's literally Martinsville. But the race was boring earlier this season, so we'll see if anything's changed. But it's not over. And then easily for Chase Elliott and William Byron and Denny Hamlin, they can easily point their way in. So we'll have to wait and see. It's all going to go down. The final race of the round of 8. We are closing up the NASCAR Cup Series season. Man, what a playoffs it has been. Really wild to start in the first round. The next round, which is also pretty crazy. And this round has also been really crazy. So just really crazy. Craziness, chaoticness, calamity everywhere. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to check out my Instagram, link will be in the description. My gaming channel, also link to that will be in the description. I uploaded a video there just yesterday, so make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss any good gaming content over there. And also subscribe to this channel. Really appreciate the subscribers over on this channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that. I do really appreciate y'all. So we will be back next week with the Martinsville recap. So I'll see you guys then. Have a great rest of your day. This is NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out.